Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So after finishing chapter 2 of the newest Apocrypha, which is the Fatum Argentori, you can go back to the Mysterious Vortex dungeon using a red key, and you can choose a new area instead of just the Thundering Fortress. You can choose the target Tower Argentori. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So note that if you've already grinded out all the rewards for the Thundering Fortress, you'll still have to come back here if you choose to grind out all the rewards for the newest Tower Argentori. And not only that, it is a completely different dungeon, as you can clearly see here. This is my very first time running it through, so I do apologize for a little bit of choppiness. We're kind of learning together. Now, that being said, from what I understand, you will be gathering the sparkles, which are clearly marked on the map there, and I believe the chest is a 2-2, although we'll have to see how many chests I run into in each area. So you can see I got the first chest, and we'll just kind of fully explore here. Now, just like most dungeons, it's going to be a series of 3 areas, each of which has 5 encounters. You will want to kill all 5 if possible, because they do drop items that you can use to upgrade the newest time restored gear if you've already farmed out the materials in the overworld Tower Argentori, which I actually have not done yet. So make sure you do unequip anything that reduces enemy encounters. I mean, if you want to speedrun it, you can definitely do so just to get the rewards for the chronostones, for example, chant script near the end, and so on and so forth. However, while you're in here, you might as well spend a few minutes and kill all 5. Now, of course, being RNG, you can run into either 2 mobs or 3 mobs, and 3 mobs will definitely be more advantageous than 2. This is only a level 70 dungeon. If you've watched my first video on the Thundering Fortress, you don't even have to bring a team with a lot of grass. So you could probably bring a free team. However, in this case, I did bring my fully powered Neptune team with both Aeschio as well as a fully grassed out Flamelopus. I don't think you need that kind of power, although if you do want to use something like that, it's more than enough. I would say the mobs will be similar to other level 70 kind of dungeons. In the 1 million range would be more than enough to clear that, and I would suspect it's much less than that. So in the first area, we did see only 2 chests, and in the second area, we're just running across every area, 1 chest at a time. So let me know in the comments below. I know a lot of you have been saying, hey, I can't find the newest dungeon for this, Apocrypha. And I do apologize for the information that I had given you. I had thought it's actually a completely new dungeon, and unfortunately, it's actually the same dungeon, just with a new area, very similar to the Holmes Lost Atelier. Remember when we did those ensemble things? Each time you go to Atelier, you can access a different kind of area, and so I guess they don't want to release any more dungeons, kind of all grouped them up together in the same area, which actually kind of makes sense because, after all, Nona is actually tied to each of these Apocrypha kind of side episodes. Now, in the second area, we have run across 2 chests so far, and if you're wondering what the materials in the chests are for as opposed to the materials you're getting from killing the mobs, I believe the chest materials are used for upgrading defenses in the Eret village. Now remember that if you go to the Eret village and go upwards from the kind of the middle of the village, you can actually fight the harder bosses, either the hard version, which is obviously like an optional super boss, as well as the, shall I say, optional boss, which is a much easier version of that, which actually unlocks the true ending in each of the 2 Apocrypha chapters so far. So I am still working on some of the secrets and extra content that you can get after finishing the main story, and I'll be putting up a video of that shortly. But I decided to put this video up only because this was unlocked right after the chapter was ended, and like I said, I had a few comments saying that they couldn't find it, so I just definitely wanted to put this video out there just as a quick FYI or PSA, so to speak. In the third area, again, one other horror, kill it off, might as well. Note that This one is weak to Pierce from what I understand, whereas the second one is weak to Magic. So if you have a Pierce unit, obviously you can use Alma. If you do have the newest unit, Alma both contains Pierce as well as Magic, and I'm sure they do that on purpose so that you can use one unit to handle some of these newest content. Most of the time, WFS does put out content such that the newest units do thrive in it, and so I'm sure this is no exception. And for some reason, I didn't kill this one in the overworld, so I hope I didn't miss it in the overworld. I believe most of these enemies are in the disposal area of the Tower Argentori. If you haven't finished the side episode or the chapter yet, I'm sure as you get to about 2/3 in or even halfway in, you'll have exposure to some of this. And if you do complete it, there is a lot of more exploration afterwards, kind of a little bit running around, but you'll have your more than enough exposure to some of these mobs, and you can collect the items to craft the weapons and then use these items from the mobs to enhance them anywhere from +1 to +10. Now, I will say in the last 2 Apocrypha chapters, I actually haven't gotten around to killing many of these mobs. First of all, I guess they're kind of spread out, so I really didn't have much motivation to gather them, especially the horrors, which reappear every 6 hours. I really should get upon doing that. And the other thing too is that with the advent of the Time Twisted Maze, I feel that set of weapons is definitely more conducive to doing high-powered amounts of damage, and so I've been spending a little bit more time, although not recently, farming the Time Twisted Maze, because those OOP arts, especially the jeweled version of some of the stronger ones like spinal weapons and stuff, especially if you get the right mix of things like the enhanced damage when HP max, or the power /int up, or crit damage up. Those are very, very powerful, and so the newest overworld weapons are not nearly as attractive. Now we've gotten all the way to the final boss. Again, very similar to the story boss. I know this is a little bit of a spoiler if you haven't finished the story, but it is weak to all elements, I think, in the beginning, and it also rotates weaknesses as you hit it. So one hit of a powerful move should be enough to end it. If not, I'm assuming you can AFN, and even if it resists your attacks, it should be fine. Now, one thing to note that is just even with this dungeon of the Argentori versus the Thundering Fortress, since it is Nona's dungeon, do bring Nona in the back if you want to. You will have a 20% chance using one of those red keys in order to get one of her lights, although I have not gotten one yet. I've only run it like literally the 2 times I filmed, one for each of the Thundering Fortress and now one for the Tower Argentori. In terms of Grasta setup, unfortunately, I kind of moved things around as I was doing a lot of different 5-star reviews and boss fights, and so clearly Tuva as well as ES Sukiya were not nearly armed to the teeth in terms of Grasta setup. They were there mainly for Tuva being 0 MP consumption and ES Sukiya having pain upon arrival. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.